While we have had tons of insider info these past couple weeks, it seems that Kendrick's plans have continued to change for the highly anticipated upcoming album Rollout.
I love leaky!
So just a few weeks ago, on July 4th, we got a tidbit of info dropped by Playa, who revealed that Kendrick was a confirmed feature on Mustard's upcoming album titled Faith of a Mustard Seed, which is dropping this Friday on July 26th. Now, this was pretty exciting news, as it would likely have been Kendrick's next official music release following the Drake diss tracks, and we already know he makes absolute gold with Mustard based on Not Like Us. Unfortunately, it seems that this plan has gone out the window, as 2 days ago we got the official track listing and features for Faith of a Mustard Seed with no Kendrick feature to be found. I will say that although we aren't getting any Kendrick on Faith of a Mustard Seed, songs like track 10 with features from Future, Ty Dolla, and Charlie Wilson have me still very hyped to hear what Mustard is able to cook up with all these amazing guest voices. This does, however, mean that Playa caught another L with his info drops, but he actually came out with a statement later on in the day yesterday that added a whole lot more context to the lack of a Kendrick feature and why the plan had changed. Now, this is where it's super important to distinguish that Playa is not the one actually going out and gathering this information. He knows people who know people, and thus a lot of the info and rumors trickle down through him, but he's not the original source, if that makes sense. Following the reveal that Kendrick would not be on Faith of a Mustard Seed, Playa went and got a statement directly from one of his guys who said that originally Kendrick was present on the album. Of course, Kendrick and Mustard have plenty of new songs, as evidenced by how quickly Not Like Us was put out, but clearly Kendrick changed his mind last minute and decided not to be on the album. The tough pill to swallow here, and with all insider info, is that plans actually do change, and in the roughly 2 weeks between Playa's initial guarantee and now, it's obvious that something has changed within the Kendrick camp. Things like this go on all the time behind the scenes, and fans are just generally not aware of it unless we have people like Playa that have access to very new updates as things are developing. And while it does suck Kendrick pulled himself off of Faith of a Mustard Seed, it seems he did so with a very specific reason in mind. Playa's source then went on to give huge context to Kendrick's current song and album developments, essentially laying out his plans for dropping the new project. According to the guy, it seems like Kendrick is going to wait and complete his album and then release a new song once it's all ready. He added that it doesn't look like Kendrick's next release will be a feature. This is pretty crazy because it could very well mean we are super close to another Kendrick diss track, or at the very least a banger single. The fact that he's taking caution to have his next public music release be on his own terms and his own project or song means that he's cooking up something devious, which will probably take more shots at Drake. We previously heard from Playa's sources that PG Lang wanted Kendrick's album out before the end of July, as he refused to feature on anybody's album until his own project was out, and the decision to dip from Mustard's project completely aligns with that. Playa also mentioned the label wanted Kendrick to feature on YG's new album releasing August 16th and the new Roddy Ricch album, which doesn't have a drop date yet, which means the next couple weeks could get very spicy if Kendrick decides to crank up the pace and initiate his rollout. In other news, yesterday DJ Academics said possibly one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard come out of his mouth when he proclaimed that Big Sean should be part of a rap Big Four discussion.
I was listening to some Big Sean recently, bro. Like, I think it's criminal that Big Sean was not mentioned, or it should have been a Big Four with Big Sean in there, honestly. I think Big Sean got to take accountability, bro. Like, yo, he raps. I'm going to be honest with you. And y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. I think Big Sean, I'm not saying he raps better than anybody that's supposedly in that quote-unquote Big Three. I'm not saying he raps better than Drake, Kendrick, or
This is just wild to hear, especially when you can tell Ak is trying to justify it, saying, well, he could be part of the big four, but he wouldn't be higher than 4. I'm not a Big Sean hater, and I think he's super talented, but under no circumstances is he touching any consensus rap big 3, regardless of the 3 artists that take those spots. Maybe Ak is just a huge Big Sean fan and he's letting his colors bleed a little bit, but I feel like most people are smart enough to realize that some of their favorite rappers still cannot compete with whatever big 3 is currently agreed upon. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and let me know down in the comments when you think Kendrick's album Rollout will be officially starting.